Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and my distinguished colleagues, and all 3,000 plus of you members who are here. Good night and welcome. This meeting officially will end at 10 p.m. We will be live until 10 p.m. on 95.5, 102.1, and 106.1. And after 10 p.m., Dili Nadan shall play for you until midnight. And if you push me too much, I will give you a jig or two before I leave at midnight. But I want to make the point that while all this is taking place, my good friend, Gypsy, Winston Peters, has a flight to catch to New York. The flight leaves at midnight. So he cannot stay here to enjoy Dili Nadan. And Gypsy, whenever you have to leave to catch your flight, my friend, do that. It was an honor, and believe you me, I know a sacrifice to be here tonight. But the fact is, you are so committed to the call for change that we are happy that you're here, and we thank you for that. My dear brothers and sisters, let me say how happy I am to be among you here tonight. The first night with my newly adopted constituents. Our honeymoon begins tonight, but unlike other honeymoons of a transient nature, our honeymoon here in Couva North will be one of a lifetime. Our honeymoon in Couva North will be consummated in the Couva North Management Committee office, which we opened this afternoon. An office of love, an office of service to service you, the constituents of Couva North, to service you in a way that you have never been serviced for the last 33 years. And what you are seeing in Couva North today will blossom and grow and extend to other constituencies as Couva South, Kumoto Manzanilla, Princeton North, Oropouche West, and Caroni East. And just before we came here, we had an emergency meeting, and we decided that we shall take all 15 blasted constituencies. We shall put in each of them, in 12 of them, we shall put management offices, and we shall put offices to manage and serve the people as the people have never been served before. So therefore, we are saying to you, to all of you, to come on board, join this platform for change, this vehicle for change, in your numbers as you are doing here tonight. No longer must you be a spectator to change, but instead, you must now choose change, and you must stand up and be counted. So I've come here tonight, thank you, Gypsy, safe flight. So I've come here tonight, my friends, my brothers and sisters, I've come here tonight to listen, not to lecture, to enlighten, not to darken, to embolden, not to frighten. We in Trinidad and Tobago are in a very bad way indeed under Patrick Manning's government. But believe me, we are in a worse way under the UNC. The UNC as it is presently being administered. And you may ask yourself how. You may ask yourself why. In some ways, some of the previous speakers, particularly Sunil and Ashvani, they gave you some ideas of why the UNC is in a bad way. Ramesh gave you some ideas of what will happen when the true UNC, the real UNC, this UNC is in government. And the ideas he gave you, even while he was speaking to you, I began to see a new dawn, a new era in this country. So you may ask yourself, therefore, what made the UNC be in a worse way today than ever? I'll tell you, the answer is simple indeed. Because the questions I'm going to ask you now are very simple, and they will give you the answer of why the UNC is in a bad way. I ask you tonight, can the UNC, as presently configured, ever get us back into government? Thank you. Can the UNC, as presently configured, ever attract young people to its membership? Can the UNC, as presently administered, can they, of course, attract women to the fold? Or can the UNC, as presently organized, even attract the rank and file? My dear friends, the answer to all these questions, as you have said, is a resounding no. So we are in trouble indeed, serious trouble. Some of us are to blame for the present crisis facing the UNC. Many may even lay the blame for the party's present crisis at the feet of one man, and rightfully so. But wherever the blame lies, wherever you put the blame, one thing is certain, and that is, in some way, all of us are responsible for the present crisis facing the UNC. In some way, we all are, either by our action or by our inaction, or possibly a combination of both, but you are responsible. Not for a minute should you be misled into believing that the UNC can fix itself based on the whims and fancies of one man. They just call him the chief. Chief, chief. If you hear Tim Gopi sing, chief. If you hear Kamla, chief, chief. Don't believe for one moment that one man, the chief, can fix the problems facing the UNC. The man, of course, this chief, who many parts of this constituency have not seen for over 30 years. My dear friends, the present crisis in the UNC cannot be fixed by him. It cannot be fixed by him because it was caused by him. And therefore he can fix what he caused. I said to you tonight that this is a new world today. Today, the world is 2009, not 1989. Trust in the UNC leadership today is at an all-time low. Some people conveniently do not believe in polls. You know, some people just conveniently do not believe in polls, especially the NACTA poll. One leader flippantly referred to the polls as a dime a dozen, saying you can get anything you pay for. What donkey logic is that? A leader of a party is saying about the polls, you could get them a dime a dozen, you could get what you pay for. How could the leader of a party speak in that way and hope to get into government? Polls today are very scientific. They tell you at a particular point in time what is happening. What foolishness is that in an age of technological development? But I'm not surprised, because the NACTA poll shows that Patrick Manning's approval rating is 39%. Pandey is 18%, according to the poll. Dukaran is 16%. And Dukaran in parliament, he has no constituency. But Pandey, who has 15 seats, is 18%. Dukaran is 16%. But that ain't all, you know. That ain't all. The poll also say that, of course, but before I even say that, let me ask you something. You really think you need a poll to tell you that Manning rating is higher than Pandey? You need a poll to tell you that Pandey rating is close to Dukaran? So therefore, what's the big thing? But I tell you, if the NACTA polls lie, I am sure they lie about Pandey 18%. Because for me, that is far too high. The polls also show that if an election were to be called no, that the PNM will sweep the elections. Here calling it. If the PNM call an election no, the polls show the PNM will sweep the elections and they will emerge with even a bigger majority. Do you need a poll to tell you that? Did ACTA poll say that the PNM will get 33% of the popular vote? The UN